You are here. Welcome to the live Apeshyt bass demo. So this is the first time I'm showing it. It's still pretty much in beta mode. It's almost finished though. We're just perfecting some more of the sounds and a couple of other things. So bear with me. I'm gonna wait for everyone to get up in here first. I'm actually gonna send an email out to the network to let them know. So if you got the email and you're watching this, welcome. If you just came from the YouTube, welcome in. But yeah, so we're gonna get to it as soon as everybody gets up in here. If you're in here, say something in the chat. And I'm gonna write this email. Okay. If you're up in here, like I said, say something so that I know. In the meantime, I'm gonna start sending this email out so everybody can come join us. So and if you are from the email, let me know. And if you're from just YouTube, let me know too. What up, Hog Beats? How you been, brother? What you working on these days? Let me play some tunes too, so we can vibe out. Let me know if that's too loud. I can turn it down a little bit too. I don't wanna bump too loud, you feel me? But yeah, so yeah, Hog Beats, what's going on with you? So yeah, I'm sending out the email now. Been good. I got the YouTube notification. Okay, cool. Perfecto. This bass that you're listening to right here is actually in the Apeshyt Synth. The one on this beat. I made it making this beat, and then I resampled it and put it into Apeshyt Synth. And a lot of these basses that you're going to hear, I've done that with. Some I've made just on specifically for this machine from scratch right then. But then there's other basses that I went back in older beats that I created. And I'm like, yo, this is dope. Or bass lines producers asked about, like, hey, where'd you get that preset from? I've resampled some of those basses and I now put them in my machine. So Apeshyt bass is going to have some of those in there too. Yeah, feel me? But yeah, thank you everyone for coming through. If you're up in here, say what up so I know you're up in here with us and I can give you a shout out too. Make this food. What's going on with your brother? What is your producer name? I remember seeing that name in here before though. I know we chopped it up. Yeah, so this isn't available right now. This is going to be available very soon. We're still perfecting some of the sounds and we're still X3. Okay, welcome in X3. We're still perfecting some of the sounds and some of the functions of the machine. We want to make sure everything's all gravy, which is running supreme, you'll see. But Working on adding a few more sounds to it. Right now, we could release it as is with the amount of sounds. It's about 50, 60 sounds that we have. But we've been going over them and retweaking them, making sure they're all gravy and that the volumes are right and everything. So on some of these presets that I'm about to play you to, you'll notice some of the volumes is high. Okay, Beats by Crow. I know exactly who you are, my G, man. Thanks for coming through, brother. And I appreciate your support too. You've been riding with me for a long time. So, Apeshyt bass, like I said, you're gonna hear some of these basses in here that are gonna be crazy, but some are gonna be not balanced yet as far as the volume. And some of the tweaks we're still tweaking some, so I shouldn't even be showing you this honestly. This is like raw form Apeshyt 808 while we spend the next few days perfecting the sound. You're gonna get the raw essence of it. So I'm just waiting a few more minutes for some more people to come through so I can start showing this to y'all. Yeah, you are a day oneer, pro. Everyone else in here, say what's up so I can shout you out, so the community can know who you are, so we can all connect and network with each other and just show love and support each other. That's what it's really about at the end of the day. Like I said, we're just waiting a few more minutes for some more people to come in, and I'll start playing with some of these sounds so y'all can hear them. Who else is up in here though? I know I got some other day oneers in here, and I know I got some rioters, producers that been riding with me for a long time. And even if you're new to my community, say what's up so I can shout you out and we can all get to know who you are. Alright. Okay, and what I should do, give me a moment because I might move my keyboard over. Might move my keyboard over so it'll be closer to this side so I can still chat with you and everything. Y'all bear with me just one moment. I'm gonna do that real quick. Alright, I'm back up in here. Okay, cool. So now I got the keyboard a little bit more in front of me so I can play around with this bass. So let's get to it. Let me start showing you what's really good with Apeshyt bass. So right now, as you can see, you can already see some of the effects that you're gonna have on here, which is chorus, right? So let me play this bass first. Right, and I don't have them named yet in this copy because, like I said, this is the demo beta copy. But you'll see that they're just going by numbers, so they're random right now as far as which sounds are going to be in what order, and some of these are test sounds, but a lot of them are the actual official sounds that are going to be in here. So I'm playing a blues scale real quick just on that bass, because this type of bass, this is that bass that you know, from the 60s. You can hear this in the 60s, 70s music, right? So let me add chorus to it so you can hear. something cool. You can. It definitely gives you that vintage kind of vibe, right? And if I want to bring it back to normal, I can add the cab, which is short for cabinet. Change some of the timbre of the bass. The glide is on right now, as you can hear. But I don't have to keep that on here. I can take the glide off. If you wanted to kind of sound like, you know, natural bass. Or you could add the glide if you want some more of that stretch. And there's distortion on here too. So if I wanted to sound like a rock bass. Right? And right now it's in mono mode. So I can put it on legato if I want to. Right? And that always sounds good with the glide on there. Right? So let me go to the next sound. This is just 2 bass. Right? And I could do the same thing as far as adding the cab in it and the chorus, and it's going to change up the dynamic of the sound, the character and flavor and color of the sound. So let's see what this bass is talking about. This is like a pick bass, right? Right? Okay, and these are just the electric basses. There are synth basses in here too, which I'll get to. I'm just walking you through some of these. As you see, it's in 2 categories, electric bass and synth bass. That's how it will be when you get yours. So right now, like I said, I'm just in the electric basses. As you see, I've got 32 loaded up in here that I've been working on and treating and tweaking and you know, functifying basically. So let's go to 4 bass, see how that sounds. Right? And it sounds like a bass, like an actual bass. You can hear just based on the velocity that you're going to get a different tone out of it, almost like if you were plucking a real bass, right? When you pluck that real bass, every time you pluck it, you're going to get a different kind of response. Same thing with the keys with this bass. Depending on the velocity, I'm going to get certain sounds. And certain keys have certain expressions programmed into it so that it sounds natural. Okay, so let's go now. I'm going to play you one more of these basses, which, let's see, there's one that's, I believe it's 11 maybe. That's not it. It's, here it goes, 12. It's an actual, what I want to say, wah bass. And the beauty about it too is I could change that to mono. And I can put a glide on it too. But I like this better in legato because you get a different expression. So if, depending on how soon I hit the next key, it's going to roll into it or it's going to give me that pluck again. So and let me take the So let me go to the synth basses. My dude said we need that zap more bounce bass, right? So let me show you something real quick. If I go into the synth basses, you're gonna hear different. And now, like I said, I'm still building certain sounds that you're gonna hear out. Like the G spell bass is the only bass that I've named, and it's probably one of the most complete basses that we got now. And let me do this. Let me change the modulation so you can hear it start to sound like Zap in Parliament. So that's basically a Parliament bass, kind of. So it's my interpretation of it. I've been listening to Parliament for a very long time. And that, the two basses, right, on Knee Deep, and then the bass on Flashlight. So I wanted to make something similar to that, but also give it that twist that the G-Funk era did to it. The what Daz and Dre were doing to the basses off of the Move back in the day. So that's one of the synth basses. Let me go to another one, right? Let's just start with one. That's just like a Zap bass. That's very close to more bounce to the ounce. Not the exact same, of course. Roger programmed that one to perfection, and I'm pretty sure the vintage equipment they were using back then to even process that, I don't think I got access to just yet. I do have some vintage, very vintage tools that I use to give it that warmth. However, I'm saying that Roger was ahead of his time. So that's a Zap bass right there. You got your monitors on and it sounds good. Well, thank you. So let's go to the next bass. And actually, I'm gonna skip it. Just that we just gonna play random. So that's another one that's pretty funky. I can't even lie. We're gonna skip another one and see what we got on file. And so I play vintage, I play funky style. I'm still caught in the 90s G-Funk. However, you could use these basses for any style. If you want to add a new flavor to your trap beats, if you want to add more spice to your boom bap, or you want to add a different flavor, go Eric Sermon style on them and add that funk flavor to your boom bap. You could use that. You could use this for that. If you're making pop beats, dance tracks, this definitely works with an EDM type track. As you know, like their bass is heavily borrowed from funk. You can hear that in one of the dopest EDM bands to ever exist, which is Daft Punk. Daft Punk is a funky band. I'll tell you that right now, man. They know what they're doing. They've inspired me too with some of the earlier '90s records and some of the later records too. But that Around the World is crazy. Okay, so let's go to another bass. We're just gonna go right on through. I used to know how to play Tales from the Crypt. Ah. Ooh, I might have to remake that. That would be the perfect bass for that too. Nah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm remaking that. So as you can see, you can have a lot of fun with it. That's what I love about funk, man. And funk is the root to all popular music right now, anyway. But anyway, I say that because funk is the foundation. Never be afraid to functify your music. Um, but what I was gonna say was that funk, the root of the word funk is fun. So you're always going to have fun when you got funky sounds, and the funky sounds bring something out of you. You could add your own funk to them to modulate them into a more modern type of sound. That's what it's about, right? It's about taking what's always been there and recreating it and giving it a new essence, which is you, right? This is the first time you've existed on the earth. As long as you've been living, you're the only you, right? And you got all those years of experience that you're giving back when you're making the music and you're putting your heart and your soul and emotions and feelings and dreams, desires, fears, all into the music, and you're giving it back to the world, right? That's why music is the best gift. It's the gift that keeps on giving. You have the sub 37 and sub fatty and still going to buy this, fam, because it sounds good. Thank you, thank you. I had the little fatty for a minute. I had the little fatty for a minute. I got rid of it. I'm actually going to get another one. This was years ago. I had it. So cool. I was like, okay, I really don't need it. I'm going more into digital. But if it were up to me now, I would have kept that. It was the one with the wood grain on the sides too, the wood panels like you see on here. Woo. With the lights were blue and pink on that one. And then the first one I had, I think the lights were orange and another color, I don't remember. But that was the difference besides the wood grain. And the wood grain one had the Bob Moog signature. I'm sorry, I wasn't, didn't mean to digress. But I love vintage synths, and you had me memorizing about the one I had. But those, I say all that to say that those were the machines that inspired me to be able to create the basses and the bass lines. And let me stop talking and start playing again. Okay, so you hear that bass right there, and I programmed it so that you don't have to play with it too much. It's already pre-programmed with the glide, and it's in legato mode. But if you want to change that, you can change that at any time. If you want to put it on polyphony, if you want to put it on mono, legato, you have that option here. You can control the filter with here. So you could do that here. You have those options. I'm gonna turn the filter off. You can always do that. Like I said, you can add the cab. Gives it a different tone. Add distortion. I don't really do that to synth basses, but if you want to, you can. You might, funk around and create a new sound. Bars. So anyway, let's go to the next synth bass, right? 10S. And like I said, I didn't name them yet. I like to give every sound its own character, its own personality. So I let the sound speak to me, and then I name it based on that, right? So, I only, like I said, I've been processing these sounds and retweaking them and making them fatter and just going back into them over and over again to make sure that they're the best sounds, because I want to make sure you got high quality sounds, not just, there's so much junk out there, producers and sound designers, just taking presets that already exist and recycling. It's not how you do it. I love sound design. I come from that age of just tweaking sounds. I had a Roland MC303 where I would always tweak. I would always play around with new basses. It didn't matter. And new any sounds. Honestly, they had pianos on there. That was the first piece of equipment I learned how to twist knobs on. Okay. Oh, this one is one I'm working on actually. I got the tone right. That's definitely got some more bounce potential to it too. So I put some very, very funky, legendary, original, authentic, classical funk basses in here. I hope you guys know that. This isn't just any synthesizer or Rumpler VST plugin or any device. This is hours and hours and actually years, decades of experience put into this. Okay, so let's go to the next bass. This is another synth bass. This is more like a sub, right? You can never have too many subs, and every sub has its own character. I like that this one has some thump. Yeah, and I gotta turn it down actually, you see? Ooh-wee. So I make sure that none of the sounds are clipping when I give them to you. This is the test model, so I go ham, I push them to the limit, and then I bring them back down. But you gotta know what you're doing. You gotta know what kind of sounds you have. So you gotta blow them all the way up, make sure they're thumping, and then bring them back down to keep that solid foundation. None of these sounds are gonna be thin. I'm sorry. You can thin them out if you want to, but they're banging. They're banging as is. But if they're too much bass for you, you can always tone it down. To me, there's no such thing as too much bass. Okay, so anyway, next sound. Okay. I get lost in the sounds. I'm sorry. I love sounds. I know you got to as a music producer. That's how you find your own sound. You grab all the best sounds that you love. And when I say sound in this sense, I'm talking about the different flavors, different genres, different styles of sounds. It could be funk and jazz. It could be neo soul and R&B and EDM. It doesn't matter. You put all these flavors together, that the ones that you enjoy, and you make your own meal out of it. When I say that, that's how you develop your own sound, right? Because they're filtered through you, and it's your perception and your take on what these sound like to you, and you give them your own fingerprint. They're filtering through you, your expression, which gives it a whole other vibe. So that's another very, very funky bass. And not all these basses are funky. Like I said, it's your expression. It's what you turn them into. But they are all fat. Like I said, I can't even lie. I pump the bass to the max on this. Okay, so that one's the one that I'm working on too. It's actually pretty dope now that I hear it. That was one of the ones I had to take my ears off for a moment because, I was too close to it. I worked on it too long. Then I'm coming back to it now, listening to it. It sounds pretty motherfucking fat. I must say so myself. Ooh. Okay, so yeah, so I walked you through some of the synth basses in here. I walked you through some of the electric basses. Like I said, there's some that are still being worked on, but there are some that are actually complete. Um, I want to make sure that this is solid. It sounds great enough for you to further your musical expression. So let's see. I'm sorry. I'm trying to look over my laptop at the screen. This is an electric bass, and these sound dope. Like I said, when you add some distortion to it. And this is more like just by adding this distortion here, this gives it that rock kind of feel. It sounds like The Takeover by Jay-Z. I know that's not it. I'm just making up my own version of it because I can't think of how it sounds in my head right now, the actual melody. But yeah, that's what you're able to do with this piece of art here. And there's a delay, so forgive me if it sounds like I'm playing lazily or later, or if there's any latency to my playing. It's because there's latency on the computer right now. So, well, based on the softwares I'm using to broadcast this, in order to run my music through it, it goes through another step. So there's like a delay in the playing. That's like one of those thumping live kind of basses. So if you're into that Just Blaze or that Kanye kind of sound, early Kanye especially, um, with those basses, or like high tech, then you definitely want to go with the Apeshyt bass, because I programmed them in there like that. And like I said, you can filter them out. Okay, so I got a little carried away. The funky sounds will take you into another world, man, and you'll get lost. That's what I love about dope sounds. Okay. So what I'm still building bases. What other bases would you guys love to hear inside Apeshyt bass? Let me know so I can take note of it and add them. And if you're watching this later, feel free to say it in the comments because then I'll go back and I'll look while still building the sounds. But you want to make it as soon as possible because this could drop any moment. This could drop any moment. I'm not going to say anything beyond that. I don't want to make any promises. I don't want to get you too excited. But it could come very earlier than the last few. Actually, we did pre-launches of the last few to give you the opportunity to grab yours earlier than any other producer. If you were on my email list, you got an email saying that, and everybody else caught it later, right? The people on just the YouTube, if you're not signed up on my mailing list, you're gonna catch it later. But the plugin probably pre-launched weeks before that, and sometimes even dropped because I'm so, how can I say it, careful with how I put my sounds and products out that I only want, let's say these are exclusive. Let's say that these are exclusive. So I release them very, very privately. First to my email list, and then everybody else who's in my social networks, they find out later, right? So if you're seeing this video and you got the link in your email, that means you're on my private list. So you'll get first dibs on this. Bear with me one moment. I need to drink some agua. Okay, so I just wanna let me find this other bass that was an electric bass. So this isn't it. So give me 1 second. Okay, something happened with my MIDI. If I can play it from here. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and take off from the live stream, and I'll show you guys another demo within the next coming days. I just wanted to give you guys a private look at it real quick, where it's at right now and how close it is to being in your inbox and on your computer and in your DAW with you cooking up some flame with it. But yeah, so I just wanted to show you a quick demo. I don't want to make this video too long. We're already like 40 minutes in. Okay, so if you caught this on the late end, you could always comment. I'm always looking at the comments. You can email me back if you got the email, ask any questions, make any suggestions. Okay? Alright, peace, love, and beats. Thank you for coming through. Much love. I appreciate the love. Leave some love on this video if you will. Make sure you like. Make sure you comment. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed. But I would love for you to comment too so that you're engaging in the community. My goal is to build a community of dope music producers and people who love creating music, period. And I already have a network. I'm just trying to turn this network into a community. So thank you for coming through. Appreciate the love. Peace, love, and peace.